Williams on the line. Hayley, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. Where are you right now?
I'm in my bedroom. I'm in Nashville at home.
And how are you coping with all the madness that is going on right now?
Oh, man. Every day is a little bit different. You know, some mornings I wake up and I'm really motivated to have a routine and get work done and all that. And some days I don't want to get out of bed. But I think, it's comforting to know we're all kind of going through something, unbelievable together. So at least there's some type of strength in numbers there.
Have you had any sort of epiphanies since you have been kind of isolating? Have you had anything that you think, I'm going to keep living like this or doing things this way once the world goes back to normal?
Well, yeah, I think this has been so different than, I'm never home. I kind of got used to traveling for a living and leaving home, more than I come back to it. So one thing that I've just really appreciated is being home with my dog every day, and there's consistency. And I think that I'm not exactly sure how that will look when, hopefully life gets back to normal fairly soon. I don't know, but I'm not sure what consistency will look like then. But I think that I'll be more motivated to get that some way. Cooking has been really helpful. FaceTiming and talking to friends every day has been helpful. But I didn't spend much time in my kitchen cooking growing up. So, I was on a tour bus. So this is very different times for me, but I've enjoyed it.
Good. I'm so glad to hear that. That's great. And also being a musician, being an artist, it's, everyone I'm speaking to on this show night after night is saying the kind of cathartic nature of being able to express yourself through art at this time is just so appreciated.
Yeah, it is. And being able to put it out there and have conversations with people across the world, that makes me feel less alone.
Yeah. Well, we have a brand new track to play tonight. It's our hottest record in the world, of course. It is called Deadhorse.
Yes.
Where are you going with this song? What is it that compelled you to write it?
This song, I think, was written by shame. That was kind of in me for most of my adult life. My entire 20s, I think I kept quiet about a lot of things that I felt. And I've told friends, when we first wrote this, I was a little embarrassed of it, to be honest. I felt like it was a little bit more petty than some of the other lyrics that I had written. And it's certainly a poppier song than some of the other songs on the album. So I was a little, I was nervous about it. But where I found peace was that it's sort of my 31-year-old self, or my 30-year-old self at the time, kind of spoke up for the 22-year-old version of me that really couldn't, for whatever reason, couldn't speak up for herself,
Okay, let's hear it. It's called Deadhorse. It's Hayley Williams. It's your hottest record behind it. And Hayley, you said that it was about shame from when you were younger. How was the process of writing it?
It was a surprise. I definitely didn't think I would ever write about this, and at least in this way. I think it's manifested in other ways, and certainly rage has been a topic that I've explored on this album, and I think that was very cathartic. But this one was a different type of catharsis for me. That I just I really needed to be able to have fun with it, and kind of similarly to the way that I talked about depression on After Laughter. It's just to be able to sort of have something that moves your body and gets you into your entire self so you can embody this empowerment, I think has been really important for me. So I'm grateful to this song. It's taught me a lot already.
Let's talk about, when I spoke to you last, it was January, and that was when we made Simmer hottest record.
Sure,
and that was a big day for you, because that was kind of you coming out with this solo project, and you talked about how it all happened and kind of going to therapy, and your therapist suggesting that this might be a good thing for you to do, and then your band really getting behind you. And how has it been since then? We're in April now. You're out there as a solo artist. Your photo is just you on billboards. How is it feeling being this person that is kind of just all of you, Hayley Williams, naked out there for everyone to see?
Oh God!
Not naked,
man.
not fully naked, clothed.
To be fair, I got naked in the video. Nobody made me do that. I'm not totally used to it. And I can say this. I don't mean it as any self-deprecation or anything, but I really don't prefer. It's not like I prefer this over the other. I really there are moments where I really miss the process and what it feels like when I'm just doing this with Taylor and Zach. And then there are other moments that I know without a doubt, like I can hear them in the back of my mind going, keep going. We're really proud of you and you're doing it. And I kind of I try to hear that and feel proud of myself. This is a challenge for me. This is me kind of like challenging myself to believe in myself and to say it's all right to step out and do something on your own for once. Like birds get pushed out of the nest sometimes, and I feel like I'll find my way back to it. But this is just a lesson for me, and I'm having so much fun. It's really humbling, and definitely, like we've talked about 1,000 times, it's really cathartic, and it feels like therapy.
Yeah, and I was interested in the idea of kind of you looking back at your life now. We talked again in January about you stopping for the first time and, coming off that relentless touring cycle and being in one place. Yeah. Obviously that made even more extreme by what's happening now with COVID-19, and you looking back at your life and kind of assessing who you were and now thinking about who you want to be and using your music as a tool to kind of to get there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It makes perfect sense. I think like it's always interesting when you're talking about perspective and experience. Like I can think back on all the things I've been through with the band and my family or anything that's been tough, and I still don't think if I knew what was coming that I would change it to be any different. Because I have the perspective of who I am today, looking out through my eyes, and there are certainly parts of it that are uncomfortable, or maybe I'm still grieving, or I'm, still learning the lesson. But I'm really proud of the way that it's gone and what's gotten me to this point today. And I think looking forward at like the artist and the human that I want to be, I think I and as well as Paramore, like we're paving that way right now with every choice that we make. So I guess I just feel humbled that we're still here. Like the fact that I still have a chance to put out records and be able to do this interview with you. And like, I don't know, that it's not something I take lightly.
So the album Petals for Armor is dropping in May 8th, if I'm right.
Yeah.
And you're putting it out in sections. So Deadhorse is part of Petals for Armor 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what is it? Tell me the kind of thinking behind that, kind of releasing it in sections before it drops in May.
Well, the first part was meant to come out sort of one song at a time.
Right.
And then part 2 and 3 were meant to drop at different times, but in full. And when everything happened with, the orders to quarantine and stay home, I really felt overwhelmed with the thought of dropping 5 songs at once while I'm just sitting at home.
Sure.
And I'm, expected to keep up with content and do all these things that I was going to have a team with me doing. We were going to be traveling, playing shows. I was going to be working with Joey on, performances that, we were going to do alone. And I think knowing that it was just me, now it's just me here at home. I've bought like recording gear to kind of mess around with putting more stuff out. And like everyone's having to pivot and everyone's having to figure out how we handle ourselves in this and how we connect to people. Part 2 has come out now one song at a time, and this is the last. Deadhorse is the last song from part 2 that will complete it. Then we just wait for the rest of the album to come out. It feels like each part had its own character and its own story to tell, and I needed to compartmentalize it from my own, headspace.
Right, yeah, makes total sense. Right. Okay, we will play this again then for the second time, because that's what we do with Hottest Records. It is Deadhorse. It is a song by Hayley Williams. And Hayley, always such a pleasure to speak to you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.